What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Savage Land. Welcome back to another top 10 end of the year countdown and my favorite time of the year where I get to see everybody's top 10. But this year I'm doing something new. This year I'm doing a top 10 of 112 scale vehicles. Yes, because we have a large influx of vehicles now. Largely in part due to G.I. Joe, and also the other part due to the Engine of Vengeance failing. And companies like Ramen Toys, companies like Hasbro with G.I. Joe pumping out more vehicles, because just as important as the characters and sub-teams of G.I. Joe, the vehicles are too. And then after that, everybody's just pretty much jumping in on the fun. I would like to say a Merry Christmas. This is Christmas Eve, man. It's probably been about a month since I did a video, man. But I've been putting in that work, trying to get this money so I can get myself together. And appreciate everybody who been hitting me up, man. Just asking if I'm okay, man. Look, I'm totally fine, man. I just been putting in the midnight oil. But I've been waiting on these top 10s for about a month. I finally got some free time. Things are starting to wind down a little bit. And the first one we'll jump off with is top 10 112 scale vehicles for 2024. Now, doesn't mean that they just have to come out in 2024. This is just an accumulation of the past vehicles that's been coming out the past 3 or 4 years. Kind of bubbled up until now. I'm just naming it 2024. And also another disclaimer, it could be a 1/10 scale vehicle, it could be a I don't know if it's a 1/14 scale, but you know, a 5-inch scale vehicle, which we'll see one in this top 10 countdown. But long as it fits for 112 scale and we're making it work, and it's probably like a mass majority of people who are dealing with these vehicles in our 112 scale 6-inch action figure, man. But enough talking, let's get into it. Let's get in this top 10 countdown and let's jump it off right now. Happy New Year and a Merry Christmas, everybody. Right, first up, we got the Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem Pizza Firing Van. I believe this came out in 2023. And like all these vehicles are not going to come out in 2024. It's just a collection over the last couple of years. But this is a perfect example of a scale that's really not 112 scale. I believe the figures that fit in here were 5 inches. But the 112 scale G.I. Joes, the normal size guys can fit in here. I wouldn't necessarily say comfortably because their heads hit the ceiling, but you don't have to alter the seats in this thing. And then it has plenty of cargo space in the back where you can sit multiple people in here. This van could potentially carry 1, 2 in the front and probably about 6 in the back. So you're talking about a van that can carry 8 people, and it's not really meant to be a 112 scale vehicle, man. There's also extra parts that go on into it, but as far as in the 112 scale field, we pretty much just kind of strip all those parts off. It has like a huge slice of pizza that's supposed to go on the top. We just don't put any parts on and just leave it as a whole of a van. What it reminds me of is the Isuzu vans, the Toyota vans from back in the day, because in real life, I mean, you can have a tight-fitting van like an NPV or something like that. And that's what this van is. It's totally cool. It's number 10 on my list, on this top 10 list, because it just doesn't have the aesthetics as some more like dedicated 112 scale of vehicles, as far as like a functioning door, how it's supposed to open, the flap folds down the front. You know, it just doesn't have the door cuts to open up from the side, or the side door doesn't slide or anything like that, because it's really not made for that. It's really actually a kid's toy that made to do some goofy, silly Ninja Turtle type stuff, man. But it comes at number 10 on my list, the Mutant Mayhem Pizza Firing Van. At number 9, we got the Tractor Supply Chevy Silverado. It was hard for me to put this at number 9 because I love this truck so much. But the only reason it's at number 9 is because I have to alter. You have to alter the seats to fit male drivers in there. Now, this is considered a 112 scale truck. That's what it says on the website, I believe, when you go try to purchase it. But I seen the figure, and it's more on a smaller 6-inch scale figure. Now, this truck here, I did not alter the seats because sometimes with 112 scale, you have smaller 112 scale, and women can fit better than men. Now, in this truck here, I made it specifically for these girls that I custom and kit bashed here. We have a custom Jinx in there, and then we have Coral that's also in the driver's seat. I did not have to cut the seats. They fit in just perfect. But for all the rest of my trucks, I had to cut the seats. I had to go in and put a Dremel and just cut the bottom of the seat out. You don't have to cut the floor out. Just cut the bottom of the seat out, and the guys can fit in there. But that is the only reason that this truck is at number 9. But great truck. Has a lot of great qualities to it. Has suspension. I mean, this was a like $15 truck. It would cost $30, but last year it was on sale, 50% off, and you could get it for like 15 bucks, man. I believe some of it is like die cast. Like, you really can't beat this truck. Rubber tires, like, this is not plastic tires. I mean, the quality on this truck, as far as the materials that it's made with, is like A1 thou wow. Better than some of these $100 vehicles up here. The only thing about it is it's just not necessarily made for a modern 1/12 scale. It's kind of almost like a children's truck, but a lot of customizers have took into this truck and did great. I've been loving them. Cool thing about them, they take well to G.I. Joe HasLab stickers. That's what the stickers I have on. You see the star in the back passenger corner here. I have a black star on the side and just different little G.I. Joe stickers I add onto it to make this thing complimentary to G.I. Joe. And I spray painted the truck. It holds very well. I put some seal coat on it, spray painted the wheels, and just basically turned it into my own little special G.I. Joe vehicle with my own little special set of girl soldiers to go with it, man. And I've probably done about 5 of these things now, man, and I just been loving it. I brought a bunch of them last year with plans on customizing them, and I finally got around to it, man. And this is one dope vehicle that's going to be in my collection forever. But this is the New Ray, which I use a lot of New Ray products. I use some of their dirt bikes and stuff. I've been dealing with New Ray for like 4 or 5 years. They use somewhat die cast. They always have suspension. Their dirt bikes have suspension. Their dirt bikes are a little bit smaller too, but it's 1/12 scale. But a woman or a tunnel rat could fit on those dirt bikes very well, man. So New Ray Chevy Silverado coming in at number 9. Up next, we got the WWE Wrecking Rig, a truck that's been out for about 2 years now, and I used to bypass it up for a really long time until my man Rudy, and shout out to Rudy too. Rudy gifted me those Mutant Mayhem vans that was at number 10. But he showed me some photos, and then I kind of seen some other people online. I looked at Gun Buddy Customs do some custom WWE rigs. I'm like, wow, this is cool. And immediately what I thought about once I started to do them is the Revenge of Cobra, when G.I. Joe was in the convoy with the Dragonfly. And it just so happened that the Dragonfly came out this year. So I made a truck for my boy Wild Bill. And guess what? I used the Dragonfly stickers. HasLab stickers, which worked out very well. Once again, I just used spray paints and some stencils, put some army fatigues on there. Kind of just made up my own design, man, to go with the Dragonfly. But this vehicle comes in at number 8 because you don't have to alter it. It's made for WWE, which is technically a 7-inch scale vehicle, so big characters can fit in. Your regular 6-inch guys like Wild Bill can fit in and not look crazy. It breaks down very easy because with the wrecking trucks and cars from WWE, they are made to come apart. Because that's what they do. They break apart. They're made to be wrecked on some wild WWE type ordeal. So that's good for breaking down and painting. It's almost like a real body shop. The front grille can come off. The smokestacks can come off. The toolbox can come off. The gas cans on the side can come off. And the hood can come off. A lot of things can come off with these different vehicles. And that's just really like breaking it down at a paint shop. So that's why it comes in before the New Ray 1/12 scale Silverado. It's just easy to handle, easy to paint up, and it's just a great truck. It's a great looking rig, man. And once you do it the right way, you come out with beautiful results like this. Like, this is the best one I did, so this is why I threw it at number 8. All right, coming in at number 7 is really the first vehicle that's actually truly a 1/12 scale vehicle made for 6-inch characters, and it's the Fortnite Boat, which probably came out about 4 years ago now. I've had this boat maybe for about a year and a half, 2 years. Finally got around to customizing it as far as paint wise this year. And pretty much what I made was a Cobra Hiss cigarette boat. I took the Hiss leftover Hiss stickers from the HasLab once again, put my custom paint on it. Once again, simple spray paints and just using my own ideas, not really following anything, just kind of a custom thing I wanted to do, and really decked it out. People were really receptive to this. But this is an awesome boat that I think will really fit in whenever they start to come out with the water moccasin, or if they come out with the whale this year. This is great for little smaller boats to try to attack the whale. This could fit right in with your G.I. Joe display. A lot of people were receptive to it. I was very receptive to it. I actually did 2 of them. I did one for Cobra. I did one for G.I. Joe. Boat been around forever. It was an Ollie special at one time for 15 bucks. I think this boat originally started out at like $80. Very easy to take apart. Probably has about 8 or 12 screws at the bottom. You take that apart and the rest is just pretty much plug and play. The engine plugs in. So when you go to break it down, you can take the engine out and paint that separate. Really like a custom paint shop. That's what this is all about. How easy is it to break down these vehicles? Can they really fit 1/12 scale? And like I said, this is the first vehicle at number 7 on the 1/12 scale countdown that actually don't have to customize to make these figures fit. I have 5 eels on here, kind of bunched up, but they sitting very comfortably. You don't really have to do too much. You don't have to cut a floor out or anything like that. The driver's seat fits a 6-inch figure very well. As you can see here, just like any cigarette boat. Cigarette boat in real life doesn't really have a lot of space in it as far as a speedboat. You know, probably about enough about 2 or 3 people, and that's about it. And this is fitting 5 eels, which you normally what you would put it in. These guys are adapting to their surrounding, a vehicle that's made for them, and they're fitting in very well. So at number 7 is the Fortnite Boat. Coming in at number 6 on my top 10 1/12 scale vehicle countdown comes from none other than the number 1 shit talkers themselves, Valiverse, with the Resvani tank. I actually could dig this vehicle. I think there were some mistakes made with it because I believe he was just trying to overshoot himself. Even though Bobby Vala, it seems very confident, I believe sometimes the talk does get to him. He is human. As far as the vehicle, the purpose that it serves as an SUV, it's awesome. I love it for that. What they try to overstep themselves is trying to make it too much of a tank. I would never do the turret on top. I think that looks stupid. It looks like the top of a castle. I think it's just overdoing it. I think he should have played more into making this thing, you know, the typical SUV that it is. It's not typical, but I just think it was just they were trying to go too much because some of the things didn't work out. As far as the guns in the back, that section back there didn't work out very well. It was just kind of flimsy. The gun didn't look awesome. It was just meh. As far as the turret up top, it didn't go up and down. A lot of people had a problem with that. I didn't like that whole setup from the get-go. But what I do like about this is it's a dope SUV. I would buy this SUV in real life. This shit is tough, to be quite honest with you. It's from what it is, that's what I think it should have been played more into. I think he should have dumbed it down a little bit. I think he got caught up into, okay, they want a big-time vehicle, I'll give them a big-time vehicle, and that price shot up a little bit because he was just trying to do a little bit too much, little extra stuff. Like the steering wheel turning with the wheels. I don't think he needed that. What basically he should have made this thing was just a shell, because it's already got a great silhouette, a great design, a shell kind of like how McFarland does. And so what if people say, oh man, cheap-ass vehicle. That's what it's supposed to be, a cheap-ass vehicle that you can just get. That's exactly what it would be. Giving the customer something for a value price, you know, that they can work with. To be honest with you, for $200, I think he should have skipped the steering wheel moving with the wheels and gave us some headlights and some dash lights. I mean, for 200 bucks, that's what I'm starting to look for. I'm starting to look for features like that. But it does fit figures very well. You can fit up to 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 figures on here. And with the step guards on the side, you can fit more than that, man. I think this is a great SUV. I just think he overshot himself a little bit by trying to do a little too much on his first go around. But at the end of the day, it's an SUV, and that's what I play it as, and it's a dope ass SUV at that. And it gets the number 6 on my top 10 112 scale vehicles. Up next on our top 10 112 scale vehicles is number 5, the Todd McFarland Tumbler from the Batman Dark Knight trilogy. Okay, now it's going to get a little bit technical now with far as comparisons. And from what I was talking about last with the number 6 with the Valaverse SUV, Rezvani tank, Todd McFarland was able to accomplish a tank vehicle for under $100. And this is basically what I was talking about. Just a shell with great aesthetic and looks like a tank. You know, it doesn't have lights or anything like that. But for $70, I stopped asking questions after that price. I know people gave Todd a lot of grief for the Medieval Spawn Kickstarter thing that he was doing, where you get an extra little thing here and there. But McFarland is for the fans. Now, McFarland will shoot himself in the foot because he's so stubborn. I say, man, go ahead and let him get his bread, man. Because at the end of the day, he's a hustler. Okay, he's gonna come back around and he's gonna look out for you. And this right here is looking out. Now, of course, he didn't come up with this on his own. He's using the Batman IP, but he accomplished his goal. This is a tank looking car right here. It's got the big fat knobby tires in the front and back. The aesthetic looks good. It looks like something that can roam through the desert. It looks like something that could take bullets. It looks like something that could take a rocket. And like I said, all for $70. Now, it's just pretty much a shell, and it's technically for 7-inch scale figures, 1/10 scale. But as you can see here, I have 6-inch figures in here, and you can fudge it. Not necessarily fudge it, because when you fudge it, you're trying to fit something in. You can make this work. You don't have to fit them in because they're supposed to fit the 7-inch McFarland figures, man. But McFarland accomplished his goal with that. And not to crap on Valaverse or anything like that, but this is a perfect example of why this got number 5 and not number 6 where the Rezvani truck sits at, because Todd was able to accomplish his goal on giving you a tank, the Tumbler, and at a great price, way under $100, $30 under, and you could get this is great and affordable for fans to get. It's easy to get to. I don't know if they're still up now. They might have jumped up to $100 on the secondary market, but he did what he was supposed to do. Mission accomplished. Number 5, the McFarland Tumbler from the Dark Knight Trilogy series. Number 4 on my top 10 112 scale vehicles is none other than the Vamp. Now, this one has some gridiron products on here, but pretty much the Vamp, $100 vehicle. You get a figure with it, no lights or anything like that, but I think it was worth the price. Even without this gridiron stuff on it, it's a very cool vehicle. It's very plug and play. You could do a lot of great things with it, and with the gridiron stuff that you can add on to it, you could take it to any level that you want to. G.I. Joe is pretty much king of vehicles. There's been a large surge of vehicles because of G.I. Joe. They're giving us a lot of great vehicles, and like I said, for $100, you get a figure with it. I think it's totally worth the price on it. It has a few things going on it with the 50 cal, the twin 50 cals in the back were kind of, you know, it's kind of had the same thing that the Valaverse truck had going on with it. But as far as just the vehicle within itself and the playability with it and the different parts and moving parts that go along with it, I think it was a great truck for $100. It sucks that Hasbro did what they did with it. It's just like almost like a limited release, but it was up there forever. You know, it didn't sell out until the day it came out, man. But this is the Vamp. This is a iconic vehicle that everybody should be able to buy at will, man. So I don't know what the deal was with that, but it gets to number 4 on my top 10 112 scale vehicles. Number 3 on my top 10 112 scale vehicles is none other than the Stinger. Now, when I first was doing this list, I was going to put the Vamp and Stinger all in one spot. But like I said, this is the part of the list where it gets technical, and I'll tell you why. The last truck, the Vamp, had gridiron parts on it. It made it look really, really cool. This vehicle doesn't have any extra parts on it, and it looks cooler than the Vamp. Cobra vehicles are always look better than G.I. Joe vehicles. You don't really necessarily have to do anything. You don't have to do anything to the Vamp, but you really don't have to do anything with this. It comes with a lot of cool stuff already, like this, just the blacked out tinted window, the guarded doors and top. The missiles fit on a lot better than the Vamp 50 cals in the back, that knobby part in the back that it sticks onto. And it's just a little bit more cooler vehicle. Same layout, pretty much, same build on it, just has a little bit more going on with it. Like, I could just totally leave this like this and it could still compare to that Vamp and still beat it out. You see it's number 4. I mean, you see it's number 3 and the Vamp was number 4. So the Stinger beats out that Vamp just by a little bit because it just has a little bit more cooler aesthetic. Cobra vehicles always have a little bit more going on. Like I said, as far as the tinted window, the closed-in doors. And you can also put gridiron parts on this too and really beef it up and get you some nice knobby tires, get you some nice effects on it. But as far as the Stinger, I will leave one just like this because it's just cool just the way it sits, man. So the Stinger gets number 3. Number 2. On my top 10 112 scale vehicles, we had none other than the G.I. Joe Classified Dragonfly. What a great vehicle. I think it was a great offering. I think it was at a great price. I think it came with great figures, but it's not about the figures. It's just about the playability in the vehicle alone. Once again, once you start kind of going over that $200 and up in that $300 price range, you definitely got to have the lights. Definitely got to have all the bells and whistles. Helicopter spares no expense, man. 2-seater helicopter. It's very photogenic. As far as the lights, once again, can be set as a vehicle, diorama. And being that you can't really like go inside of it like the his tank, like in the back, besides being in the cockpit, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a play set, but it's so huge. It definitely is a backdrop. It definitely can make out a scene. And as of right now, I don't see a vehicle holding any candle to it at the number 2 spot. This is a great vehicle. I'm glad I was able to purchase one. I wish I would have purchased another one. I think I probably will end up just getting a helicopter, you know, without the figures. But the number 2 spot definitely well deserved belongs to the G.I. Joe Classified Dragonfly. And number 1 on my list of my top 10 112 scale vehicles is none other than the His Tank. In my eyes, nothing can really beat the His Tank right now. It gives you everything you're looking for. Of course, it had a $300 price, but it came with 4 figures, lights. It's pretty much a playset, a diorama, and a vehicle all in one. I didn't really see too many flaws with this. If it has any flaws, oh, the one flaw, the blast effects. That was it. I don't know what they were thinking on that, but they come on now, come on. But I can see past that because it's such a great vehicle. As time goes on, there's going to be more vehicles coming out. As you can see, at number 2 was the Dragonfly, which kind of holds a candle to the His Tank, but still the His Tank, I believe, is better than the Dragonfly. Now we have the Rattler that'll be coming out next year. We'll see how that do. And as time goes on, we will see what will dethrone the His Tank. But in my playability, in my collection, as far as vehicle wise, 112 scale, true 112 scale vehicle, I think nothing can beat the His Tank. But that is it for my top 10 of 112 scale vehicles. I wanted to do a rundown on this because I have quite a bit of vehicles now, and I just kind of wanted to rank them and see really if anything could beat out the His Tank. But in my eyes, the His Tank is the best thing smoking. What a true legend of a vehicle. I think the G.I. Joe Classified team did a great job, and we'll see in the future will anything take its place. But with that being said, if you can't give me a like, comment, subscribe, check out my channel, The Savage Land. We do this out of pure passion. And in the comments, if you want to let me know what your number 1 vehicle is, please feel free to do that. And with that being said, until the next time, God bless. And we got some more top 10 videos coming up. Up next will be the G.I. Joe Classified Top 10 of 2024. Thank you guys, and Merry Christmas.